So I'm just trying to cultivate bodhicitta as a motivation. So to continue with the text, so we finished about the 6 perfections, which is the mainly for ripening the one's own continuum, and now we continue with this what's so called as the 4 means of gathering disciples, gathering followers. So which is mainly to ripening the continuum of other beings. So under this topic, so we will find very clearly, the how we can inspire others to engage in virtues. So if we continue with the text, so which says training in the 4 ways to gather disciples that helps others to mature. So mature, so it has 5 parts. So the first, what the 4 ways to gather disciples are. Second, the reason they are stipulated as 4. And third, their functions. And the fourth, the need for those who gather are following to rely on them. Fifth are somewhat elaborate explanations. So the first headings up, which is what the 4 ways to gather disciples are. So here first the list what are those four ways to gather disciples. The first, which is generosities, so is as earlier explained in the section on these perfections. So the first is generosity, and then the pleasant speech is teaching the perfection to disciples. That's the second. Yes.
다 녀바마 녀바마 다 대셰바 녀바마 대셰바다 저자 땜비 대대노라 진 대자라 셰된 주바오 요자바 레드 주바다 녀레라바 깨지바라 와 거래시아 노지가 대자라 녀스를 해지바라 대셰바 sendoa 마 대셰바스데.
And then third, working at the aims, so is setting disciples to to work on the aims as they have been taught, or involving them in correctly taking up these aims. So, which the third one is essentially to leading the or motivating the other to put the teaching what has been taught into practice. And then, and then the fourth, consistency of behaviors, so is stabilizing yourself in the very aim in which you have established other, and then training in them. So of course the detail of these four will come later on. So this fourth one is indicating that the what you teach, you should practice what you teach to others. And then the ornament for the Mahayana Sutra says, so which the shows the source, the scriptural source for these four means of getting disciples. So which says generosity is the same as before, teaching the perfections, involving others in taking them up, and involving yourself are asserted to be pleasant speech, working at the aims, and consistency of behavior, respectively.
Jene lela chen pendo bala tisos, tangenero. Je panda shebala, ra jenda shebala, te karga ko gewala chen jala karga gosena dagores. Ra chen dagar so da nyegar, nene ma de so she de nyego and the lana tomate gagilas. Se gav, se ganti nyewale. This on the one. Sandono, Mother Sosa said gun, Mother Yambo Yunga. Said God, make a gen, other power, God, Geshe Doga. That's a 10 and you are my son. And they would their leather leg, Gitabe Master Leon, talk on the Tasha. They association with Jonathan, Lila Jen, Pendog, well, this or is that? Gala, Jay Shudder, then a card, dollar card, too much in the gaggles, say Gala, the Moja, so Ziggy, Jamba Jenny, Lilla Petoba, Lilla Peto, Lil Dialis, then you'll got a leg with wrong either. That's on tattoo, they are pushing to us in my house.
So then the text goes in detail. The first, the reason, the next section, the reason they are stipulated as four. So the just explainings, why there are four which are mentioned here, four which are as a means, for the means to attract or gather disciples. There are only, why there's only four are only mentions. So the question what are the ways of gathering disciples said as four? Yep. And so reply, in order to gather a following of disciples for the sake of establishing them in virtue, they must first be pleased. So these moreover depends on your giving them material things, providing the benefit to their bodies. So we will come a bit more on this explanation on this later on. So the primary, what you want is to accept your teaching, and then to as well as to listen to you. So therefore, as a way for the other to be more kind of receptive to what you say. So you want to, what he's saying is the first one, which is the generosity, which is a giving. So the which is a way to through giving, through the practice of like he says, giving something like something to benefit, something to their to benefit to their body. So in that way you kind of please their mind, and so which, as you know, how when the others are mentally pleased, mentally delighted, they delighted by towards you, then they come kind of become closer to you, and in this way they become more. So here, of course, the purpose is to listen to the teachings. And then he continues, thus please, so they first know how to connect to the path. That is to say, by using pleasant speech to explain the teaching. So you cause them to cast away ignorance and doubt, and then to correctly apprehend the aims.
Nyenge ko lol mansong pego ya mara ko lol toma lol suma de nyamba ma changere we de ja ge sa sa nyamba ma se da ra kon som lol som ba chi ra sa ji chi cha ba ma sa cha tan som be de shin zama la se ne sa ji chi ji cha ba sa de de da ji nyamba ma da changere we de ja ge sa de nyamba ma yin na chi xie bi nyamba ma yi chi xie bi ra ngene de de ko lol sum ba chi nyamba ko ra tene inga ta de ho de yo ngene de isa de nyama ma chi ndo koro ye ndo je shi ye de wa ra tene ko ne ba ta de ho de le de de isa de ta de je nyama ma ye ne chi xie bi de me xie ba do ten zo sa do ne da de ne de shi jiao ma la ba ma lo ba la zhe ni ju bi shi de shi jiao ma lo ba na no den de je ya bu la de ka de shi de ma xie ba ten zo sa do ne de ne shi jiao ma lo ba zhe de ju ba wo sa de sing de ya bo sa de
so then continue. So thus to say, by using pleasant speech to explain the teaching, so you cause them to cast aside ignorance and doubt, and then to correctly apprehend the aims. So the in here, so when it's this word, the pleasant speech, so which specifically means to teach, according to the mental interest, mental or the capacity and the exact need of the disciples. So and then and so in this way, when so through this pleasant speech, then as he says, yes, and you cause them to, if you think about all this line, so the outcome or the benefit of your what you teach to other is that as he said here, cast away ignorance and the doubt, and then to correctly apprehend the aims, in their minds.
Tensoever, Tetoni, not Loshicho Malova Lanjuba Teshepa, Teta Shibana, Teshepi, Gaudavan Juba Shelas, Teta Shibana, Ted, Tenta Bashebi, Nola Shepi, Gauda, Drabal and Juba Shelas, that is in Ravaja, and there Teshepa.
And then continues, once they have understood these, so you cause them to accomplish virtue by working at these aims.
다들 체론이 이제 지기서 지세나 저도 뭐냐라서 저도 뭐 롱게 잡아시 예나서 대단한데 저런 녀세 아볼래샤나 녀세는 콜로 녀세래 그랬어 대마야 롱게 마다나 예란 주던다 샤기서 시셰바나 체론이 대대 뭐잖아 예라잖아 대시 지 가르쳐 줄 마기 저런 영을 내고 못했어 다들 체조 다들 얘네 받지 그건데 저를 얘네 다 반다 그건데 그 저를 깨면 됐어라 서 열래 깨면 열래 저 얘네 째게 세네 저면이라 신땡에는 내 집에 아버님과 저런 열래 정게 내 집에 저런 열래 쉬지 배가 다 열래 모두 깨는 다 그래 나 편도도 용거를 와서 얘는 내 정하는 열래서도 깨시어라 치세대 카시서 많이 봐 이제라 시안은 run이 열래잖아 이젠다 론다 용도 시안노에 론은 론 열래 맞잖아 론문데 이젠다 용 nen데라데 체론이 대대 맞잖아 예라지 저지 지시마 체주 다도 연제 저기서시 세니 저도면이라 얘가 말했어 얘가 말했을 때는 다 대대배야 롱게 잡아시 옛날에 다 대래 뭐냐라 롱게 잡아시 옛날에
So in relating to that pleasant speech, so there was one verse in the prayer of the 100 stages of the land of joy, where you request for the to give the teaching. So there's where verse which says that how may you bring down the rain of Dharma to this suitable the land of the sentient being, so that the also implied this meaning of this pleasant speech, which is teaching exactly according to the need and to this spiritual temperament of the disciples, and then continues However, if you have not accomplished a virtue yourself, so when you say to others, so you have to engage in these, you have to reject that, then they will say, why do you tell others accomplish this aim when you do not accomplish it yourself? So you still need somebody else to correct you. So here, as you can clearly see how the Lama Tsongkhapas, they emphasize and how it is important in order for your the teaching that you give to others to be very effective. So how it is important first for put this into what you teach to others to putting this into practice by yourself. Because otherwise, as it clearly says, then you are it is not that effective to teaching to others, or even they would also think that why would they would have to practice when what you teach to others is something that you don't practice that yourself. So in fact, if this is something that they have to practice, then they will say first, they will also see that it is something that you have to put that into practice. So therefore, the emphasis on the practice, putting the teaching into practice, how it is when you put that into practice, then it become teaching, the Dharma become as a means to subduing your own continuum, and then at the same time, when you teach to others, then it helps the Dharma become a means to helping other to subduing their continuum. However, if it's not put into practice, then not only it doesn't help subduing your mind, but as well as won't help to subduing the minds of others.
Shu samba non jong mado ba tema jeyi tela ten tamba do gibi shate tela ten tamba gibi shate ate yeze pemba shebi ta nan zba she dun ju de teji jiz ju ye ba ling ba ye shi ja ta de de kan la da so so nyole sha no ji go choro nyole sha khoro nyole shen ke jin ten la de 다자라 세안은 코로 저가는 내가 셰빈들 너들나 다자라 편바도 내가 이제 있어 됐어 파시아지 녀를 맞아야 되는 다 녀를 진짜 편도 매서 되는 사고서 코로 제금은 편도 매 이제 속이 등 칭에 뭐 싫을 나가요 내가 나와 땡 내가 다 해야 되지 아마 저가 봐이 매지 샤듯이 땡 시원이 마블라고 돼한다 사든 주치스 이제 쉐선바 나정 진짜 뭐도 봤다만 제유 대란의 텐터바기 비셔대세 펜바 셰베 타동의 대전 전바셰도 주제바 대전 예전의 셰바제 링어바 예시샤 다된 사고도야 저처럼 로나야 보는 거 그거 저를 대서 로로자는 배야 보는 거 다ทั้ง대대고 다는 하다 되는 데
So then continue. But if you are practicing yourself, so they will think this person is established in the virtue to which he or she is leading us. So we will definitely derive benefit and happiness if we accomplished it. So they then either engage in it anew, or for those who have already engaged in it, so do not reject it and become stable in it. So, so for this, you have to be consistent in your behavior. So this explains that there are four ways of getting disciple, which is a consistency with the meaning, with the purpose. So which is to putting into practice, what you teach to others, and then as really, when we, the intention of reading this text here is so that we, you would also read, go over this text, and then think on the meaning of this, what the Lama Tsongkhapa has written here. So which when you think on, reflect on the meaning, so is a very direct, what Lama Tsongkhapa is saying, very direct and very striking to our heart, and how it's saying how how people can be can be easily inspired if you teach something that which you yourself put into practice, or in another word, if they see that what you teach to others is something that you put into practice, when they do that, then it can, as it says here, then they then can either engage in it anew, or they will be, if something it's they might take that as anew, as something that they established, they follow that anew, or if it's something that they've already have heard or have been doing, and this help them to be more stabilized and to again have a more confident in their practice.
Chichen Kolo Tombo Sozi, Pass Sozi, Jimbi Tigata, Shelena Kara, Jembena, Chinebe, Neru the Chishe, Jim Mayunda, Neru the Shayunda, Ra, Maneba, the Yaba Shaba, the Jimbi Chayunda, Yamade Kedala, you don't get the Jimbi Chinda, Chineba saying, the Jimbin the Yunda. They just said, Jembin, Chinebe, Neru the Sheba, Neru, Sheto, yes. Chebabala Gashe Bisharos, that dead, La Jembete Tachi, Neru and Chinda, Nedru, Chinda Yunda, that head.
And then the ornament for the Mahayana Sutra says, so know the ways to gather disciples to before, a method to give benefits, involving others in comprehending the teachings, involving them in engaging, and likewise involving yourselves. Now then the third, their functions, so which explain the function of each of these four methods or four means of gathering disciples. So the first, what do these four ways to gather disciples do for the disciples? So reply, generosity makes them fit, a vessel to hear the teaching, for it makes them happy with the person who explains it. So this clearly indicates how when the generosities, bring people, towards you, attract them towards. It's kind of like a winning their hearts towards you, through your practice of generosities. And then the pleasant speech so makes them take interest in the teaching that is to be given, because it gives them a detailed understanding of the aims and dispels their doubts.
xie te sa ra de xie bi ge de xie ba de ne so ba no ji da xin yo la xie ba xie ge dus tang de ba yim ta xie zai ba ya.
And the working at the aims makes them practice in accord with what they have been taught.
다 대한테면은 쉬바대 모두바대 쉬바대 모두바 예рем보 드바셰비 샤테 덤비내르 되네 덤비내르 덤비내르 시바 샤이 샤르
And then consistency of behaviors makes those who have engaged in the teaching not reject them but practice for a long time. And then there's a summary of this of the function of each of those four folds. The ornament for the Mahayana Sutra says, by the first they become vessels, by the second they take interest, by the third they practice, by the fourth they train. So then the fourth heading, the need for those who gather are following to rely on them. So because the Buddhas have declared these four ways to gather disciples to be what achieves all the aims of all disciples and to be the superb method those gathering are following must rely on them. The ornament for the Mahayana Sutra states, those involved in gathering are following, rely on these means, it is praised as the superb method, achieving all aims for all. So just saying that this is what the said by the Buddha. Okay, then the fifth, as it says, are somewhat elaborate explanations. So there are two types of pleasant speech. The first, pleasant speech associated with worldly customs means that you first assume a clear expression free of angers.
Gasheba was. Will come, says that in a bag, God, touching what the Margot and Doji and do not bother my Tony imagine, do not bother Tene, my gentle saw the Shari and the Mishari, Gogara, taking the Tony, the Cordell so fast, Chora Deva in Balasoba, Teni, Jite, Sanjaga, Teni, Sanjano, Gasheba, then I do. Charasa good Palati in a chisang that thing, Mamma, Nigaching that the Sujikaji in the I and look the Atas on Teto. Then other bridges read was
No. So the first pleasant speech associated with worldly customs means that you first assume clear expressions free of angers, give a smile, and then please living beings in a worldly way, such as inquiring about their health, etc. So, in another word, so this also the agree or or the emphasizing the importance of even to the putting into practice, following all the good customs or good like convention or worldly customs that such as when you meet people, you greet them, with to make them feel welcome, and also you show a very good facial expressions, with a smile and with a clear like a radiance in your face, and then just even to as we have a custom of asking people, how are you, and things like that. So these are, we can see here, even these are also regarded as something very, good qualities which we should, as part of this pleasant speech, something we need to put into practice. And then the second type, the pleasant speech associated with presenting the perfect teachings, so means that you instruct living beings in the teaching for their benefits and happiness, beginning with teaching on developing faith, ethical disciplines, study, generosity, and wisdoms.
Pipa, Jambaton, Terra, the Temayambata, or the law, Lozaji, Nenjabit, Shira, the little Sony, the Pemba, tell a Pemba day, the Chiagore, and there's Niaga Churta, there is son Abuton, do other than Manzo Chorosachi, Moshego, and Deji, Pedo Pen, and the knee, Santona. Teaching a pegula, that's Monday teacher, and the son Tetona, get our lot, my second is also noticed the boy John, there's some over it. She said, Jesus, about some of the son to so the telepa, quiet up with the son to go not there, the job. Colosum watch, that time I in the watch, I shall let him do. You know that. Tenisi girl, Jano Manda, Sosa Pap Pemoyo, Ye Pap Pemoyoana, Church one natural the Pemba day shut the children, Saint Jala Chitamba was that's on that. So in this in this line here, so we see a word where it says here, for their benefits and happiness. So which is to indicate the importance of having the right
motivations, when we in giving teaching to others. So we should not be, motivation should not be stained with such to become famous and so forth. So rather, motivation is to ensuring that the motivations for giving the teaching is solely to benefit to others, is to extend happiness to others. So with this motivation, then what the teaching that you give to others, so it is in such that it help others to develop, as you say here, developing faith in in 3 jewels, and then and have them in ethical disciplines, in inspiring them to apply the ethical practice, like a 10 virtues practice. And then and then to study, which is to all the 3 baskets of the teachings, and then so on the generosities, and then the wisdoms, which is to here is to like a perfect knowledge, which which has the sense of like a clear discriminating wisdoms of knowing right from the wrong, and so forth. So these are things that you give, and also there are also some of you who have been like teaching Dharma to others, like giving an introductory the teaching on Monday night. So it's worth to, before you come here, it is worth to spend a bit of like even an hour just to reflect on the subject matters that you're going to teach to others, and also trying to even to set your motivations, just like you kind of rehearsing yourself to what you're going to do on that when you give that introductory teaching. So, and in the rehearsal process, you go through all the right motivation, and then they go through all the topics, and then in this way, if you if you follow the same thing on that actual. On the night of you give the teaching on Monday, then you will find it very beneficial.
Son ombo to boy yon the show me wa call it ya ka yun check ya ada ko chu kai chi mo jang ada pa yu yong ko chi mo de ko ka li khang de se seng gen yo ngen de pe de mal chen malo bi ta isan de de ka chi na ko ka li khang ko ombo ten che ka li kha de ren yo da ro se bi da la ye me bi chi ji ji de pen bi ji chi je ba dang ombo shada tawa la ye cheba meba showa tonda lo ne chija to je de gyanza de chubatang senje yo je ke la so la fashi jeno lo ju sheba la shedong meba pembe si jeba pembe si jebi nyamba ma je kawa no no la yon che lo ba dong chi ka no lo ba dong de de ta de man de
Then continue the reading. The avenues of pleasant speech are as follows. So to an enemy who would kill you, so you say helpful words without a fault in your heart, and with a very dull-witted, so you willingly rise to the challenge, tirelessly giving talks on the teachings and causing them to adhere to virtues. So without need of the clarifying this meaning. So if if you reflect on this what it says here, so how we should be very be patient, with in giving teaching to others. So like we have to be patient for those who are very slow in learning, or who those who are very dull-minded, and not to just to undermining or not to giving up on teaching to them because you find it they're too slow or they never learn anything. So rather, so you show your, as it says, tirelessly giving talks on the teaching and causing them to adhere to virtue. So
that's it. Senje je kela sola sochi jena loju sheba la shedon mepa pemisi se yebe nyamba maje je ka no la yo lo ba don da je mama ba reba pon do dendro she shada ngaro ne she chi jamba da sanjada do sheba don that
Then continue to devious beings who deceive their masters, abbots, etc., and engage in wrongdoing. So you speak pleasantly with helpful words and without anger. So teaching even the most difficult persons. So in order that persons whose mind have not matured may eliminate obscuration and be reborn in happy realms.
Tajima, Mama Bala, Deva Modo, Dendro Shei, Chada, Tengarone, Shai, Chi, Jambado, Sandraja, Tosha Badons. Rang in it, Taji, Mama Bata, Tenigo, Taji, Bon, Dendro Shei, Shada, Maro the Shai, Chita, Jabato Gore, Sandrasu Gore, Setas on the theatre. Jit Madenge, Jim Mamba, Drava Trashi, that's Drava Trashi, Senior, Se Trashi, Drava Trashi, Senior Devado Dembala, the Yota Pudge, Papi Digitamacendos, Jim Mamba, Drava Trashi. The Senor de Dembala, you thought Chita Demajas, Tempa Jazz, Tempa Downs, Chamba the Rada, partner that to Mutelade. Jimamba, the trashy.
And then continue, in order that person whose minds have not matured may eliminate obscuration and be reborn in happy realms. So you give discourse to them on preliminary practices, generosity and ethical disciplines. So referring to those whose inner continuum is not fully ripened. So for those, then you teach on the in order to help them to find a good rebirth. So you teach them on the preliminary practice such as generosity and ethical disciplines. And then continue to person whose minds have matured, so who are rid of obscuration and possessed of a joyful frame of mind. So you reveal the foremost and perfect teachings of the Four Noble Truths.
Go that Yama was in young Dutch, I think in the Chambayana apartment or Shangin, Rajuna apartment, Vanola, Paella, Gaby shed the sin, Telape shed, Tezashuano, Sai shed the sin, Chi, and Beto Shabana, then Yama my go was red up and think with Dutch.
And then continue to, so you encourage householders and renunciates who are careless to be conscientious, and to those who have doubts, so you speak elaborately and explain the teaching to them to dispel their doubts. And then continue. Working at the aims is twofold. Bringing the immature to maturity and liberating the mature. It is also presented in three parts as follows. So it is also presented in three parts as follows. So involving person in taking up the aims of this life is causing them to employ means consistent with the teaching to acquire, to protect, and to increase their resources. So this this is to ensure that even to those who works to gather material goods and to put effort to protect them and so forth. So just to ensuring that their actions is not the is not contrary to the dharmas, such as for example to acquiring or gathering material by wrong ways, like by wrongdoings, like stealings and so forth.
따도 저는 냥에리 저도 한데바 토비 싫어 대세바 치과와라 지네 까란 주제 스타트야 아마다 라디오 개바데스 비 심미 대응해줘 늘 망해서 전대신 인기 된저드 주반나 첨바와 라디오란 지대든 지대는 디비 차다진저 주바데스 라지든 지대바 제데 차바차 안데 전들라지 리세셔도 용하셔라서 이제 심마라요 답에 따는 양인데 부터 인연에 로민 초알아 때아텐전 전더가 양연에서 전더가 라야서 리세셔주야 용도 가도 뭐네 고장에는 신나다서 심마라요 답에 따는 양연인데 봐 토비 싫어서 대체바 지가 연주 대사되네 되는 맞지는데
and continue. So involving persons in taking up the purpose of future lives means to establish person in the life of a renunciate who lives as a mendicant after they have rid themselves of possessions. So although this is certain to bring happiness in future life, so it is not certain to do so in this life. So here, so there's mention about the benefit of living a life where like a mendicant or like a ascetic or a wandering like a practitioners who do not own anything, and so the is exactly the this is how the renunciates are supposed to be living as who they live their life on by begging from the other, even for the food, with the, carry the begging bowl, and so which is to normally is empty, but so then you go out to beg for the food, and you'll see how this even in the Vajra Kata the sutras, so where there's the detailed mentioning about that, and I personally was in early days was very attracted, always wished that how very inspired to see such a wanderer practitioners who own nothing but who also know always wonder the possess a very little, but they seems very live a very contented, very peaceful life, and they always not there's no attached to the one area and just moving from one to another, and but however there seems to be there's something there which I was very attracted to, but unfortunately it didn't have that opportunity, or that didn't happen to me. So therefore, what is said here, for a lot of like these days, a lot of renunciates, where we let alone following this kind of living the example of this kind of life here, how the renunciates should be living, but even we're living a very luxurious life in terms of the food that we eat and place of living and so forth, quite contrary to what it says here. And then continue. So this is certain to bring happiness in future life, so it is not certain to do so in this life. So involving person in taking up the aims of both this and future life means to cause householder and renunciates to take up freedom from mundane and super-mundane attachment, for this generate mental and physical fluency in this in the present life. So, which is to show even though they may externally, they do not own anything, but however through that it's the way they live is very suitable to, as he said, has to generate such a mental and physical fluency in the present life, and then continue and the attainment of purified deity and nirvana in the future.
nghe ghé sa mà sa ba la ghé van rất dữ cao thằng sinh như là rồi nghe ghé sa như mà ra cao lên xe rồi nữa 네 로제 부서 첨보도 부서 첨보 견론은 바메베 이제 첨보라로 인능에는 다 걸고는데 이제 첨보라 쉬비 바시 매매 이제 첨보라 지데 내비 대다로 대셔봐 가도 진행했는데 못되게 떠라 고 제반은 있는데 때만다나 당시 소비 레비제다 먹고비 대다라 대셔봐 가고사 다 대셔비人吧다 되니까 대셔봐 가는 데는 가도 있어 거기가 이제 사전도 얘네 야 마사가 잘지 요는 마셔 거기에서 산용 오면 돼 대가지 내가 로제 첨벌을 거 봐면 이제 첨벌라 내비 대다라 대셔봐 가지는 지시 가래 못되게 따라 고고시바 너는 때만달라 동시 네 lum비가 레와 먹고이 다거는 먹고이 대다라 대셔봐 가스다 바이트로서 되니 대셔봐 가레스 다시 비름바 형 다들 가되니까 안 돼. 다시 비름바 시행돼 shaji.
And then they continue. So work at the aims. So even when it is difficult. So it then says it is difficult to induce those who have not previously accumulated roots of virtue to take up virtue. So the listening the the type of the those others who are difficult to encourage, to make them to put the teaching into practice. So like saying it is difficult to work at the aims with respect to those who have magnificent resources, so like the abundance of wealth and the possessions. So because they live in a situations where there are so many grounds for being unconsciousness. So because of the possession of the great wealth, that so their mind can be so filled with so many preoccupied with so many thoughts. So therefore it's very difficult to make them to put the teaching into practice, and it is difficult to work at the aim with respect to those who are indoctrinated with the views of non-Buddhist philosophers, because they are hostile to the teaching and because of their foolishness do not understand reasoning.
다 시비 rembayo 시비 치라제 노란 토마제 라이지 동아 안주지네 시바다 소시오르 시라제 노라 라이바 동아라 반주 그래서 대 되는 시란데도 수하나 지기지 동아제 그래서 라데 되는 시라 첨보 수하나 치사모도 지나 동아제 처음으로 주바동 주바셰 동스 다시에 동스 다대야 건데 르바트냐 거기다 뭐 라니라 되냐 거르거르 안 로근다 선도 뭐 라이 동아데 대야 대지 리베트니 리그 동아데 되냐 자첨버려 수르 사모도 저더니 다 대거데 가래 가라텐 로근다서 르바트니 유근다데 신랑한테 사서라 진짜 전 대지
And then continue with respect to the stages of working at the aims. So you first cause those with childlike intelligence to follow easy personal instructions. Then, when their understanding has reached a middling level, so you have them follow intermediate personal instructions. So finally, when their wisdom has greatly expanded, so you have them follow the profound teachings and subtle personal instructions. So this clearly indicates the importance of teaching or leading other, according to their own mental capacities. If their mental capacity is in a very low, very small one, then you teach just to suit that low mental capacity, and then to you teach according to suit to the middling capacity or to the great capacity. So that's the what's the emphasis here with respect to the as you said with the respect to the stages of working at the aims, which is to in inspiring to other, to follow the.
That's that. Ro lot no so ba to go ya mas. Rimba she da te go ya sa sa te a kong de te a go. So ma yo she da. Then ta ma na pa ro ko la che de che ba te tu su ma go. Fa ba ro ne ba she ba go sa te go ne ne de ta. Then ta ba sen pa ro ba ko la nge ba te tu su ma go. Fa ba la ro ne ba she ba go sa te ne de ta. Codon Chumba, daily hop, I think, go out. Then get the daily hop as you go out, man, Chumba and the judge did. Part of a Kolanga, but Tedon Chumba, oh, Haba, Runeba Sheba, oh,
yes. So after this saying the giving the instructions, according to the mental, the capacities of others. So now, with regard to this, the continuous consistence of behavior means that you maintain practices equal to or superior to those in which you establish others. So this refers to the fourth means, which is to be the consistencies of the purpose, or accord with purpose, which is to practice to what you teach to others. So with relating to this, so your practice should be either equal. What you practice should be either equal to those who you teach, or it says greater, like superior to them.
Geshe senche ye tela mini somba yede do matashi gecho yoyi ronda gesi da lande yoga ronda gawara tarida ingene yoyi ronda getes ade roma da gente nebe da toma ma sono senche la mini somba yede do matashi gawara yoa de da sonda gawara tamba sonda gawara sendewa yoa ronda gawara gis te yen tai ba temba le gashi roni manda jada reba dembi che mayo rongi chedon gai yebi yedan dawa mani shi cheje gone teta telo ro ta tula yanze ni reshi dani manda wana dawan zeshi semala si de tela de shaje de dawa gashi roni manda ajada riba dembi che mayo se de che mayo rongi che donga she bishse la ma nyale chega sha ma de sa so nyama ga yo ga sa de yana ga she bi yeda da mani la se che ga yeda da so nyale yeda da mani la che je go ne de lo ro ta tu la yan zen ni re shi da ni manda wa ni da wa je bi je shi zhen ba la shi de bo so ma da de bo so da ge ge ta de se gua那么说，容易蛮多人的那他妈人容易大小伙死了，咱的呢。
So then continue. So accordingly, even though in whatever you do, you must first focus on the welfare of living beings and not lose your resolve for others' welfare. So you must discipline yourself in conjunction with these pursuits. So it is saying that that your intentions, your intention or motivation is always to benefit others, and then as well as it is important that this motivation for giving teaching to others, and then as well as it's important that you, before you teach, giving teaching to others, that you should be practicing the teaching yourself, or you should be, because the purpose of the teaching other is to subdue, is to help them subduing their mind, their continuums, and then as the Lama Tsongkhapa they always emphasize that without being able to subduing your own self, there is no way that one can help subduing others. One can subduing others. So therefore, one must first subdue your own self. So so in line with that, so it's important to the emphasizing the practice for putting the what you teach to others. You put that into practice yourself first. So then the discipline yourself in conjunction with these pursuits. The praise of infinite quality says, some who are undisciplined use reasonable words, but contradict these words, so they are called unable to help others to discipline themselves. So knowing this, so you place all living being in your heart and strive to discipline yourself wherever you had lacked discipline before. And then they just to continue reading. The 4 ways to gather disciples also comprise 2 categories. So gathering disciples via material things and gathering disciples through the teachings. So giving material things is the first of the 4 ways to gather disciples. So remaining 3 of the 4 ways are included in the second. So the gathering disciple, second, gathering disciple through the teachings. So we stop here for tonight.
If
you want to recite the headline, the thought transformation here. Someone who, this is for